Hey, what's up guys? John here. Hope you're having a great day, and in today's video I'm going to take you through what's in my gig bag. Keep in mind that this is also an ever-changing process. Things are going to come out and new things are going to be added, but most of these have been in my gig bag for quite a few years. This gig bag is the Mono Vertigo case, and I've been really happy with it. It used to say Mono right here. It's about a year old and I've worn it off. I really actually am really hard on just gear in general. I bring it with me everywhere, and it's going in the car, it's getting driven across town. Sometimes it slides around a little bit, and this has been incredibly reliable. My other gig bag that I had before this was so beat, and so this has been a nice upgrade that's actually lasted quite a bit. This is the Mono Vertigo case. Alright, so I'm just gonna randomly go through this. Basically, first up, we've got my iPad, and I got this case actually from Fishman, and it's pretty worn at this point. It's seen a lot of gigs, and this iPad I'll use for sheet music, actually, for gigs if I'm playing with an artist, or I use an app called iRealB, which is really great. And then I have tons of charts of my own arrangements. Maybe I'm sitting in with a group or I'm leading a night. I'll have tons of charts that I'll be able to either Bluetooth to the other musicians. I may send it to them ahead of time in an email, or I could just give them a chart on the bandstand. And the iPad is great because I used to use, sheet music and bring like the mighty lamp where you'd have to like make sure your battery was good on that, make sure it was bright enough, but this of course you could see in any club. You just got to make sure that it's charged. And actually I did have an iPad die on me the day of a gig a few weeks back, and so I recommend having a backup iPad. But then of course we've got a charger. You gotta use your phone. I use my phone to get to the gig. You gotta charge up phone and your iPad, and then just have it because it could die on the gig, whatever. It's a good thing to have. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so this is just my standard like Levi's strap that I've had forever. It's just black. I dig this strap. It's comfortable and it's really broken in. These are just business cards. A lot of people come up to me when I play and they say, hey, can you come play this event? Do you teach guitar lessons? And so I do give out my card from time to time. Next up is actually this Fender Bullet tuner. This is actually a really awesome tuner. It's really discreet, which I like. Sometimes you get these tuners that are just like giant pieces of plastic to put on the end of the headstock, and it never looks good. But this you can actually hide, and it's super accurate. It's got a really cool display, and it's smaller than most of the clip-on tuners. It's the Fender Bullet. Okay, string clippers. This is always great. Knock on wood, I have probably broken 3 strings on stage in the past 10 years. So a lot of gigs and not a lot of strings breaking, but I do change my strings crazy often, and I do things when I change my strings to make sure my strings don't break. And I don't do a lot of alternate tunings. I just get it set and lock it in. So, but just in case, and if it is a really important gig or whatever, I will always have a backup complete rig. Most of the time I'll have a backup guitar in case a string breaks. But on most of the time, if it's a low pressure thing, if I break a string, I'll just keep playing and then I can change after the song or whatever. So I have this just in case. Next up is my in-ears. I use Ultimate Ears. These are incredible in-ear monitors. They're the Reference remastered in-ear monitors. I have a separate video just on these, so I'll link that up. You can check out these monitors, but these are great for gigging with and just listening to music. They also are great for just knocking down like, noise isolation. So if I'm in a rehearsal or whatever, sometimes I'll use them for earplugs. I do play with a capo a lot. If you guys see my solo guitar videos and things, I have a lot of arrangements where I use the capo, and I just like the sound. I use this Shub capo where you can adjust it to the neck of the guitar, so depending upon what guitar I'm playing, whether it's acoustic, electric, I can fit it to that guitar. Shub, it's a good go-to capo. And I actually have another capo in there randomly. You can't have too many capos. Okay, I also just have random earplugs, and I usually don't get the colored ones, but I'm out right now. These were just last minute that I grabbed. But it's great to have hearing protection because, especially as a guitar player, I'm going in so many loud situations, and it just sucks to be stuck like in a gig or in a club or whatever. Sometimes I'll play and maybe the vocal mic is just blaring or whatever right in my ear, and so I need to have hearing protection. So these are great to have. String winder, this is always good. Quick string change if you need to. Now inside this gig bag there's also a little like separate zipper that I put kind of smaller things in. So for example, I'll have just random jazz picks. I use I think it's a 358 Fender Jazz. I have a separate video, again I'll link below, about the picks that I use. But these are just backup picks. I also have thumb picks. These are the Fender thumb picks that I use it's always great to have extra thumb picks. And then of course backup strings. These are my electric strings. Right now I use 12 to 54 on electric with a plain G. It's a 20 plain G. And you want to have backup strings in case you break a string. All right, let's talk about what's inside. Now, since I got this guitar, actually it's been the only guitar that I've brought on a gig when I've had to play one guitar for electric. This has been it, and I'll show you this. This is actually my Fender custom shop Telly, and I love this guitar. It's incredible. And I also keep in here just a little rag. You can just use a polish rag or whatever. This is literally an old t-shirt, and I will wipe down the strings a lot of times when I'm done playing. And it's actually really good to wipe the underside as well, because that will get the dirt off, and that'll cause your frets to last longer. Because when the dirt is on the underside of the strings and then you're pushing that into the frets, it can literally be like a knife. And I've had to get guitars refretted, and so it's nice to make your frets last as long as you can. There you go, guys. That's it for today. What's in my gig bag? If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed as well. We've got new videos on the channel dropping every single day. Tons of guitar lessons that are really going to help out your playing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in another one real soon.